What's up, everybody? As we are entering into the season of Lent, we're wrapping up our upward dynamic of the triangle. And the upward is our relationship to God through worship. And the scene we're about to talk about, Peter has this amazing confession to Jesus that he is the Lord and Savior, but also hits his lowest point by Jesus calling him Satan, for Peter pushing back that Jesus will not die on a cross. Because we forget this, but the cross was really a humiliating and terrible thing to happen to anybody, much less a revolutionary like Jesus. Would have meant that everyone would have seen him as an absolute, utter failure. What a terrible way for Peter to end. But then Jesus follows it up by saying, "You're going to follow me by taking up your crosses also." We see worship is tied to our crosses. And finally, Jesus takes his closest disciples. They encounter Jesus becoming brilliant, just like Moses. And then Moses and Elijah show up. And Peter's amazed at this moment. It's this moment symbolic of everything in the faith coming into touch right there, and this cloud descends. A cloud in the Old Testament was always symbolic of God's interaction with his people. And the cloud interacts with Peter himself and tells them to listen to Jesus. Listen to what? What do they need? To all of Jesus? Well, certainly all of his teachings, but the one thing they were probably skeptical of was the call to take up their cross. And they're supposed to worship and realize from this point on, it's all about taking up your cross. Everything has shifted in the dynamic of Jesus. It's no longer about power. It's not about celebrity pastors. It's not about powerful churches. It's about taking up your cross, sacrificing everything you have in worship. That is what worship is, and why in Romans 12, Paul says to the Romans that they're supposed to be living sacrifices, always ready to die at any moment and sacrifice everything. This is the gospel. This is what worship is at its pinnacle, is dying to yourself. Like, we wear it on our necks all the time now. What if you wore an electric chair around your neck? What would that tell people? It's the kind of scandal our faith holds, and something we're never supposed to be comfortable with. Good luck this week on your discussions, and hopefully I'll be praying that many lives are changed and many people start to step out of their own comfort zones for faith and worship of Christ.